about Robert? Can I ask you to pray? Can I ask you to pray? Okay, before we begin, I'm going to have Robert Carvel offer a prayer.
Dearest Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for all the people here today and for the opportunity to work towards building the grand sanctuary, this new inspiration from our true Father through our second King. We really want to offer this up to you as an offering. We want to make it the most beautiful place. We want to make it a place that can truly attract and handle many, many, many people coming through, that can really reach out and touch people's hearts as a channel for your love and knowledge to flow through out to the world. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this meeting today, and we want to...
All right, thank you. So this will be kind of like a basic overview of where we stand right now with the Grand Sanctuary. So I just prepared a few slides. This is also being live streamed, so people can ask questions or give suggestions. The idea here is to generate give and take, so I think the first part I'll just go through the whole presentation, and then afterwards we'll open it up. So if you want to write any questions down or ideas you might have on, nothing is set in stone at this point, so we're still developing the master plan, so to speak. Speaking of the master plan, if we could get that up, Shinduk, that first slide. Yeah, this is actually what we came up upon our arrival at Chungpyeong, based on the King's guidance every step of the way. And actually a lot of it, it was basically all overgrown, and there was really virtually nothing except for this pond up here and a shed. There was a pond and a shed, and the barn was there. Everything else wasn't there. And as you may know the history, it was really the pioneers of Chungpyeong that really got out the machete and got out all the tools to clear away the land. Yes, big hand to all of the early Chungpyeong volunteers that paved the way. But really, it was really based, this whole project was based on Father, the early, before finding the land. Of course, Neil was very instrumental in researching and trying to find various options for the King to look at. And we looked at a lot of properties all throughout the Smoky Mountains. It started down by south of Maryville and Knoxville, that whole corridor. Many days, weeks of unsuccessful findings. There was one left on the list that we could take a look at before going back up north, and it was really a miracle that this particular property surfaced to the top. And it was on a morning. We were going to look at one more property before heading north, and this is the property. And it was clear that God and True Father wanted this property, because right away the King was super excited about this property. All the other properties we looked at, not so super excited, and he wasn't that happy with. But this one, he said over and over again, this looks just like Korea. And as you know, the Korean Chungpyeong has fallen into, into Satan's camp. So part of what the King has to do, he has to, under True Father's authority, a Chungpyeong that can really represent heaven and earth. So this property is very, very important on so many levels, but this is really the where heaven and earth come together. This property that we're on right now represents that. It's a piece where God can claim as his own. So the King, like I said, he's the one that kind of has mapped all this out. And from the very beginning, he talked about an event center, which is now called the Grand Sanctuary. And this arrow goes right to exactly the spot where we are building the Grand Sanctuary. That hasn't changed. I remember it really clearly, the King, looking over the whole property, and when he came on this top of the knoll, he said, this is where the event center will go. And I think he even went up there to pray several times. So this spot has a lot of, yet it's right up the hill. There's a pathway was created up to the event center, and it overlooks Clinch Mountain. Very beautiful place. And the trail, it's centrally located, so this will be the driveway up to it. And then this is a parking area here. And then the Trail of Tears, Father's Trail of Tears, goes through the forest. And then the Trail of Victory, these are all already made. And then the Trail of Ascension all the way to the top. We haven't finished the lookout tower. That's quite a job. That's probably for 2024. So we did cut out a piece. You can go to the next slide. I'm not sure. Actually, the next slide is Google Earth. So maybe Shinduk, you can bring up Google Earth and just kind of show people the general area. This is the Welcome Center, Joe's truck. This is Swan Lake.
Where's the trail on that map to get up to the site?
The driveway?
How to walk up to the site?
Oh, from the Welcome Center, yeah, go back down. Well, it's hard to describe there, but just literally right out through this wall and then up the hill. You'll see a wide path. You can't miss it. So this is the barn here. This is Chungpyeong, the Palace Lake. And these are the greenhouses, so you get an idea where you are. And then the event center is here. Now the septic system that's going to be for the event center is here. So it's going to be quite it's like 1,200 feet to this septic location. So it could be approved. And then so the Clinch Mountain is here. Okay, that just gives you can back out a little bit further. Yeah, keep going, keep going. Okay, so this is the sawmill here. This is where Brock lives. And the driveway in, and then right there. So beautiful thing about that, not only you have views of the Clinch Mountain, you also have Route 25E. You see it. You see the event center from here. All the traffic along here, you'll see this future Grand Sanctuary. So the visibility is really, really good. Okay, next. So we dug out. What's that? Of being able to enter right here. I'm trying to work it out with the sawmill guy to get access from here, but it would require an easement. So he hasn't agreed to that yet, but hopefully he will. Otherwise, we'll make this wide enough where people can come and go. You know, that's the driveway. Okay, next. Yeah, so some work has been done since we were quite sure about the location of it. We went ahead and did the dig out, and it was quite an effort because it's like solid rock. We weren't exactly sure if it would be shale and limestone and stuff that you could just dig away, but it actually ended up being solid rock, which was painful. It's a good thing from a building perspective. It was not easy to dig out, but he was able to get about 10 feet down. And so this is the backside of it. So this is where the lower level will go, and then the upper level will be up here. So, and then this will all be a grassy area here. So, but this is all on solid rock, and that is really good news, like Robert said. You want your building of this size to be on solid ground.
What do we see? It's not fantasy for me.
Well, this is the ground level here.
So it's the lower level.
That's the lower level, yep. And then these are the views you get up there. You can see Highway 25 here. We'll put King wants the big tower, like a 3 or 4 story tower. So that will be overlooking the entire Clinch Mountain area. Okay, next. Found out that we hit solid rock. We'll we'll have to redesign this, but this kind of gives you a basic idea. A lot of frontage. This is facing the mountains here, this way, and that's where that cutout area was. And this is the parking area over here, the entrance. We have since modified this a lot, but we haven't gotten a new design yet. So the people that are on the important person on the team is Peter Van Gelderen. He's like a design artist, and he comes up with these artist renditions. So we'll be asking him to redo that based on what we know now. And we also have Robert Carvel is on the team, Jerry Hang, John Clark, Jim Stevens, George, a lot of experience working cranes and big construction material. Joe Dispenza, of course, is on the team. Joe has an enormous amount of building experience, so he's going to have a lot to do with this. Who else? Who else am I missing? Paul? Paul Addison? No, he's retired. So, but we might get his advice. We're going to get Neil's advice too. So there's going to be other people involved. Yeah. Who? Yeah, Doug Williams. Yeah, he's on the financial committee. Yeah. The what? The solid work, the rock? Yeah, that's going to be the base. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's great. It's excellent. So Pascal was asking, so that location works for this building? Yes, it works perfectly because it's on solid rock. Of the area here, right around the event center. One thing we realized that this building project is not something like building a shed in your backyard, you know. The more we dug into it, the more we realized, and the more advice we got. We got a lot of good advice from Joe Russo, who's been an architect for 40 to 50 years, a very high-level architect. He said that really, you know, you got to cover all your bases from a liability standpoint, but just from a pure safety standpoint, to make sure that this building is built in such a way where it has total integrity. And what that translates to is having all what they call soft cost involved. The soft cost is like a solid architectural drawing that includes all the plumbing, all the electric, all the HVAC systems are in place, and not only in place, but they're certified. You know, they're certified person trying to figure out what to do, but we have trained professionals who are, you know, they went to school for this kind of thing, architectural work, and also we're going to have structural engineers involved because you can imagine. What's that? Yes. Okay, hold that thought. No, it's a good, you know, bathrooms are important. Parking is important, bathrooms are important.
I would like to add something also. Since the kingdom is coming, so we have to include everything. And there is people and elderly with handicap. So you want to consider an elevator that bring this individual on the wheelchair up and down.
Right.
And so a toilet that also is able to, this person can go by himself in the bathroom.
Yeah, this stuff will be covered when I go through the first round, and then we'll come back to a lot of, if there's anything that's unanswered, like that question is answered, because part of this building is that the building has to follow what they call international codes. And Tennessee codes mimics the international codes. So what a lot of states do when they don't want to go through rewriting everything, they just take the international standard and adopt that as their state standard. So that's what Tennessee has done. The architect that we eventually will be working with understands international codes, and he'll understand Tennessee codes. So when it comes to handicapped accessibility, that will be part of it, and that's an important issue. So part of this structure here is we want to use the outdoor space. You know, we don't want to be an indoor church, right? We're an outdoor church. So when of course, outside somewhere, maybe on a beautiful day, it's 65 degrees, the sun is shining, we're all outside on a beautiful open foyer area here. Maybe we'll have a tent set up. We're not exactly sure. But some of these things to, where we can be outside enjoying nature. Okay, so there's a lot of things to consider here. We'll be looking at like solar energy. We'll be looking at, because the sun is south facing over here pretty much all day. You get south facing sun. So if we had a well-constructed solar system up here, then that could defray a lot of our energy costs over the years. Let's talk about heating underneath, geothermal, but that's a little bit difficult because we have rock. So it's really hard to get any further down. He went as far as he could go. This is a really, the king likes the idea of a wood interior, kind of like True Parents Memorial a little bit, that kind of natural wood interior. Now, it may not look exactly like this because this was lifted from some other building. So just to give you a basic idea that the inside will be like a timber frame, or these are called what are they called? Glue lamps? Glue lamps. Anyways, Joe has done a lot of research on those structure beams, and they can span 60 feet. The outer dimensions of the building are 60 feet by 120 feet, and 2 stories, so it's really a 14,000 square foot building. That includes the basement. So there's about 7,000 per level, and then there's upstairs as well, like the tower and stuff. But the capacity for this building is somewhere between 200 and 300, and then of course outside there's a lot necessary for a structurally engineered building. So when these things weigh, I don't know what they weigh, but I would imagine they weigh about 20,000 pounds. They're really heavy, and you want to make sure everything is solid. So before anything is, before, during, and after we get everything, an engineer is looking at it and stamped and certified. So that's the only way, and the king and Cookton are both very adamant about this, because we are responsible for our community, and everybody's contributing to make this happen. So we want to make this not only a stunning, beautiful architectural building design-wise, but we want to make it safe for hundreds of years into the future. Okay, next. Okay, so can you make this any larger, Shinduk? Maybe right to larger, Shinduk? Okay. You able to move it over? Yeah, okay, there we go. That's pretty good. Okay, we'll start with over in the utility room. So, again, when we first drew this, we didn't have a utility room. So that's why this meeting is important. It was at one of our building committee meetings that hey, where's the utility room? Whoops. So that's actually a very important part. That's where the HVAC system goes. That's where a lot of the plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical boxes, all that kind of stuff. The freight elevator will be used for, say, if we're having events upstairs and we need tables, and all the tables are stored down here. So we'll probably have a door here. And then the load up and egress for anytime there's a nursery, there needs to be an escape way out in case there's a fire or something like that. And again, we tried to design this in such a way where there's a lot of flex space, meaning it can be used for multi-purpose. So maybe the nursery might be divided in half with one of those, what do they call those? Accordion doors, right? So you can kind of put it there, and then you have 2 distinct rooms. This is the stairway. When people come in upstairs, then they go downstairs and they go into this area. And if they want to go upstairs, it goes right into the foyer, which we'll show in a little bit. Janitor's closet. And then the kitchen will have walk-in fridge, walk-in freezer, food pantry. And then, we'll get people that are specific, get Elka and other people that that's what they do. And maybe we'll even get some advice from other food service people as well to design a kitchen that really works well. So again, the service elevator is over here, so you imagine a lot of food might be going upstairs, so they go right from the kitchen over to the elevator and up with food. This is a dining flex space, so like now what we do everything in this room. But in the future, food will be served, and this will be the dining space, so people from upstairs after service will come down, and food will be served in this large area. This is quite large too. Like this is probably 40 feet by 30 feet. So it's a pretty big space. This is about 40 feet here and 25 feet wide. So it's a little bit bigger than the Welcome. Designed for the Kingdom Academy. You can move this over a little bit. But it's also, this is kind of like a zone here. So say if there's a nuclear war or something like that, then this will be a safe haven for people to come, especially the king's family, a place where they could have their own bathrooms, laundry, sleeping area. You know, this is a fortified kind of zone, a kitchen and dining area, and bathrooms. But take away that worst case scenario, it's used by the Kingdom Academy, again, the laundry, bathrooms. And then, okay, let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so those stairs, this is where and this will be a flex panel again, so that say if there's 300 or 400 people, you know, then this can open up and be part of the main Great Hall. But if a regular service, this is probably closed. We're even thinking about having another flex accordion panel here so that smaller events can be held. We want to make this building multi-purpose. So say if we're having an event that's 60, 70 people, you won't be in this huge hall feeling like dwarfed, you know, but we'll kind of be able to cut it down to size and adjust it, yeah. So we got bathrooms upstairs. This is where the elevator comes up. This is where the nursery escape is. And then these are the Great Hall. Bathrooms are up there, and then so this is again a curtain here and a curtain here, and then this will be the staging area. This is production. This is where IT and sound and video will be. And this will be kind of a flat stage, or we could have the stages that we bring in, you know, that are up about 18 inches or 2 feet. Portable stages, so we could have that. This is a backstage area here for storage. This will be the King's. This would be more for the VIP room and also offices. That's what these are. These are like offices. So we kind of combine, like we currently at Sanctuary Church in PA, we have the VIP room and the offices together in the back. And that's what this would be here. And then the king has his office and bathroom here. This is a public bathroom back here. And then the bar, so that when there's a biking event, they can use this VIP room as well. And then the tower, the entrance to the tower, and you can bring this up a little bit. I'm not sure how that's going to work yet, but a lot of the details still have to be worked out. There'll be some kind of, I guess, a deck here. A lot of this is very undefined at this point. The tower is very undefined at this point, but that's going to be a really important part of the building is the tower, you know, in terms of really creating a defining character. And yeah.
So when there is a sound, where Robert will be with the sound, you also have a door that open and close on the back. That's what you say. That you will adjust how many people.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is where Robert's knowledge will come in. Yeah, we haven't details. We're going to call in people who have a lot of experience in this area. A lot of this stuff right here is for lighting, you can see this. Can you bring this down a little bit? Yeah, so this is truss. Yeah, trusses, is that what they're called? Truss. Truss is for lighting, to get proper lighting on the stage. And again, Robert will have a lot to say about all of that. Yeah.
So when we have VIPs, not only the king, and they're coming to wait, say, President Trump is coming, and we need a place for President Trump to enter into that VIP room, I don't see a back entrance.
Hmm.
I'm just wondering, maybe there, but
Yeah.
some way to get in there from just, except
Like from here. Yeah. No, you're right. That needs to be some access there. Yeah. There's access here to the backstage, but no access yet over here.
What's backstage area used for?
That will be for backstage stuff.
Well, if you got the stage area flat, then you want to have a stage, 18-inch stage. You've got to have a place to store the staging
No, the stage
decks,
itself, okay.
staging decks, sound equipment, whatever.
A lot of storage.
There's always, it always gets forgotten about, and there's always too much of it.
Absolutely. Been there, done that.
Yeah, whatever you think, if you think you have enough space, you're wrong. That's the golden rule. You always need more space.
It's nice to see it white, open space. That's why.
And we'll probably have shelves, all around here. Like Juan mentioned that for Holy Day items, we're always tripping over the stuff now. It'd be nice to have, shelving units where it was a dedicated spot, nobody moves them. So the first step is to get the soft costs dealt with. We have enough money right now, thanks to Cookchinam. He donated $100,000, and somebody else donated $100,000 from Japan, and then other donations. We have about $250,000 to start with, which sounds like a lot, but this project, Cookchinam thinks $4 million for this project, and he has a lot of experience building stuff. So I think I was originally thinking $2 million, but he's convinced me that it's probably closer to $4 million. So, what's that? Inflation, yeah. So the soft costs will probably be, I don't know how much, but probably 50,000 or so. And we'll want to make sure before we do anything, we want to make sure we have the architectural. Now that we're committed to having all these properly certified and stamped drawings, we want to make sure that's all in place. That's why it's important for us now to put the time into it, because once they're in drawing stage and they're stamped, it's very expensive to change those. You have to go through what they call a change order, and those can really add up. Those can really inflate the project. Every time an architect has to go back in and change something apart the original drawing, then the costs keep going up and up. Yeah, construction too. So we want to make sure that once the drawings are kind of like done, then of course we want to show them to Joe. We want to show them to our electrical guy. It might be Byron. We want to show it to our plumbing guy, whoever that ends up being. We want to let all the subcontractors look at the drawings, make sure they're comfortable with it. Maybe they see something that the architect on the paperwork, then we can begin with confidence. And the first step, of course, is, I always get confused, is it footings or footers? Footings. Okay. That's where we lay the cement foundation and all of these.
Even before the footings, you could have put any plumbing that goes in the ground first.
Before the cement is poured, yeah. But footings are different than the cement foundation. Yeah, they're just 2 feet by 2 feet. If you go back to the other drawing, Shinduk. These are all footings right here. So these are really what hold the building up. These are very important. You got to get those right from the beginning. And that's what a good architect will do. He'll study the weight of the build. From these footings, then you can start making a plan on the arches that go above the glue lambs or the timber frame, whatever we end up using. And of course, Joe has already been working on a lot of this stuff on the actual building side of things. And he'll be kind of leading the building side, and I think he'll also be possibly doing the cement structural stuff too. He's been certified recently for, what are those cement things called? Yeah, the ICF Foundation, which are like big blocks of cement that you build and then you pour cement into it, and that's what creates the foundation. Yeah, the foam. It's like a foam box that's filled with cement. I'm sure I'm getting all the terminology wrong. I apologize. But there's a lot of other people involved that know all that stuff. So we'll try to address any questions that people might have. We hope to start pouring in March or April if we're successful in getting all the drawings in that time. That might be unrealistic. I'm not exactly sure how everybody is backed up on the architectural side and structural side. But like I say, we have enough money to do the drawings and the foundation work. And then from there, we're just going to have to fundraise. We're going to have to get the word out, and everybody. This is really the modern day tabernacle. This is really the, as I said in my email, the crown jewel of the crown jewel. Chungpyeong is the crown jewel, but the Grand Sanctuary is the crown jewel within the crown jewel. So it's really, yeah, it's the Holy of Holies. Well, we know where that is, but since day one, he's always been thinking about the Grand Sanctuary. It's really, he's called it the Able UN. You know, Father always talked about the Able UN. This is where leaders will gather from all over the world to discuss the Cheonggyeok Constitution. If there's a massive restructuring of the world, Tennessee, I'm sure, will be in the center of that restructuring, and Chungpyeong will be a new heaven and a new earth. This is where it's going to be happening. So we need a building like this, you know, to really represent True Father. And
We need a library in there.
a library, yes.
Books of Chung Sung Yong.
Yep. We need to write this down. Okay, hold on a minute. So be protected as well if there's a nuclear war. Well, we'll probably all cram in there. Yeah, build your own bunker. It's a good idea. Yes.
Beside this building, there will still be enough room to make another building if we want to in 5 years' time or whatever. I mean, what I mean is that building will not take all the space up there, right?
No, there's actually another space behind Brock's house where we are going to build a wrought of iron writer's garage. And that's a nice big flat area. It's not as big as this area, but no, it's actually right next door. Yeah, it's a stone's throw away. So there could be a trail going down to another area. But again, septic is going to be an issue. You know, septic is like one of the biggest problems on this side of the mountain. Like Poconos always has the raised, what do they call them, turkey mounds or sand pits, sand mounds. But they don't do that here. I don't know why.
You know this cement would be very good, maybe upstairs or downstairs, or whatever is more appropriate, to put a fountain. Like I saw in a big grand hotel, they have an indoor fountain. And water is really a sign of spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Koi pond.
I'm sure there'll be a koi pond, so maybe we could put a fountain there, you know, bubbling up. I think once we get to the real landscape side of things, the king will have a lot to say because he loves designing gardens, as you can see. Hmm? Yeah. Yeah, so we'll probably have waterfalls and koi ponds, and it'll be up to the king. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that you mentioned a coffee shop.
Yeah. Can you go up to the next level there, Shindak? Yeah, well, this is the uh, ground level, and then this is the ground level, and then this is the main level. So here's the cafe. So it'll be a big open foyer area, but in the corner will be a cafe. And then there'll be seating here because, again, there's going to be windows here overlooking the mountains. It's going to be beautiful. And then there's a door here, and you can go outside, and we'll have a large patio area here. Again, for sitting outside, enjoying nature. And
There gonna be like a parking lot for bikes around the cafe, or just in the back?
well, there is parking for bikes in the back, but we could probably, yeah, bikes don't take up a lot of space, so we can fit them in there. So let's go down to the lower level, a full picture. Okay, now this is where the parking is here, and we're going to have a driveway coming down here, like a loop. So when we're doing kitchen deliveries, they'll be able to be dropped off right there. People can offload kids and family, and they can go in here to the main area here. This is where the nursery is. So this will be a major turnaround area here. A lot of people will be dropped off upstairs, and they'll enter the main hall right there. But if you have children and if you have stuff for the kitchen, then this is a gentle slope down here, and then a turnaround area here. We'll go back up. No parking down here. We don't want this area to get congested. This is a very scenic area. If you remember that grassy area, we want that to be kind of not cluttered with cars, but it's a drop-off only. And then have to be very slow because there'll be children playing, and so everybody's going to have to take this slow. But a turnaround area, we'll make a nice little garden area here. Probably maybe the fountain can go there. The view of the highway is like from the tower. You'll be able to see the highway really well. But actually, even from the main floor, you'll be able to see the highway. Over here. Well, the highway's over here. Yeah, so we'll probably continue doing jiu-jitsu training down here. The Welcome Center, we'll have to see what the Welcome Center's doing in 5 years. Maybe I don't know, I think a lot of stuff's going to be happening here, so. These have showers as well. The mezzanine? Well, we talked about a mezzanine, and I'm not sure if we need a mezzanine. It adds a lot of cost to the project, but I think that's still open for discussion. We actually talked about, can you go to the next slide, Shindak? We talked about a mezzanine level here, but you would lose the cathedral ceiling in the foyer area if you did do a mezzanine dollars to the project. So I'm not sure if it's needed. And there was also talk about a back floor here where maybe the king's office can go upstairs, overlooking the grand hall. So, yeah.
Mr. Kyle's asking if you could repeat the question or have them say it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can repeat the question. So there was a question about a mezzanine, and that's still open for discussion if we want to have a mezzanine above the indoor foyer. The argument against it is cost. Do we really need it? We have a lot of space down here, especially if this is an accordion wall. You have be a lot of space. What's that? Yeah. And so the mezzanine would be nice from a visual perspective. You could go.
Designing the structural allow for a mezzanine to be added later.
Later, yeah.
If it becomes a necessity.
Right.
If